Well, one thing we've got to look at in terms of moving from a prohibition-based approach to a legal regulation approach is how we got here in the first place. And one of the things that we've done over a period of 100 years, which became codified when the United Nations Convention came in 1961, was to treat a particular set of drugs as a threat. We have a threat-based approach to cannabis, cocaine, heroin, which we don't to alcohol and tobacco. So after setting these drugs up as a threat to health, we then put in place a global prohibition on their recreational use and the production and supply of those drugs. Over a period of a couple of decades, as with alcohol prohibition, this created a vast criminal opportunity for organised criminals all over the world. So what you have is a threat-based approach to drugs as a health problem, which then becomes a huge criminal opportunity enabling non-state actors, transnational organised criminals, to become a threat to the state. What you then do is you conflate these two threat-based approaches and say that this is the drug problem. The drug problem is organised crime and heroin and people who use and people who deal. If you go back to what a normal approach would be, which would be to treat it as a health and social and trade issue, those security issues aren't there. So you have effectively two wars on drugs, one of which is on drugs as a threat to health, the other one is on transnational organised crime as a threat to the state. So what's the solution? First is you have to recognise that there are these two separate security-based, threat-based approaches that have taken place, but they're different. One is on drugs as a threat to health, and the other one is on transnational organised crime as a threat to the state. So you have to unpick that. We have to understand that and know that these are being conflated for nefarious purposes by populist politicians who want to maintain the status quo. But we can undo that, and we can undo it very easily as soon as you take away the threat. You treat them as health and social issues at the consumption end, and you treat it as a normal trade issue at the point of production and supply. And that's when the regulatory frameworks come in. What you need is government to come in and control the markets and enable people to get hold of these drugs without buying them in an illegal market and without creating a vast criminal opportunity for non-state actors to challenge the state. It's real simple. We just do what we do with pharmaceuticals, with alcohol and tobacco.